Hello, everybody. This is Michael with M&J Games, and I am with Corey from Webb Gaming for another episode of Avery Forest. So, Corey, how are you doing this week?
Hi Michael, I'm alright, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Excellent. What you been up to this week? Well, we'll find out in a moment. Before we
Absolutely.
do get started, if I can just let everybody know, we have a huge surprise for you this week. So a couple of weeks ago, I was talking to Michael, and I made a little suggestion, and I said to him, this collaboration is between Web Gaming and M&J Games. And M&J doesn't just stand for Michael, it also stands for Jasmine. So I threw out a suggestion that wouldn't it be good if we could give Jasmine the park for a week? And so, without further ado,
I'm really excited to be on collab with you guys. So, oh gosh, I'm trying to work the controls. I'm not good at working these. But yeah, so I kind of started off by making a carousel. So it's kind of near the the chair swing ride. So I just felt like it kind of needed to have another sort of gentle ride. So I thought this was a good spot for it, so that they were sort of near each other. And I just did what I normally do on flat rides and just kind of do some scenery and some flowers, and that was about it. Just to kind of make it look pretty. And after that, I thought that Michael's coaster, I forgot what you called this. What is this called?
I can't remember. I know it's something, but it's all good. Don't worry about it. It's all good, yeah.
Okay, well, I thought that needed sort of an eatery area, so I made this kind of I tried to go along with his theme with the wood and the wooden beams. So I did that. I still have to lay down some ceiling pieces or ceiling tiles for the ground, and I had started doing that, but it was a little bit tricky. This terrain is not completely flat, so it was not an easy thing for me to attempt to do. So I'm gonna try to do that the next time we get the park back, hopefully. So hopefully it'll look a little more cohesive on the path there. So let's see.
Yeah, so what are your thoughts so far, Corey?
well, firstly, just in regards to the carousel, to be honest, I didn't even realise it was there until you said it. It's so well hidden, it's brilliant. And just looking around it, I love the elevation. Like, if you're coming in from the other side where the chair swings are, it's just looking to the right and up at the queue path. I love that elevation. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
And you're right. There is no better spot in this park than right there. It fits perfectly in there.
Yeah. I think it looks good, especially with the other ride there. So I'm glad that you didn't notice it actually.
Well, honestly, real quick,
Honestly,
too, what he was
I
talking
was
about is really cool how it's like, so let me change camera angles so we can get a better zoom in. So it's like you're in this queue path and you're just kind of elevated right here looking at the path below. So that is super cool. I didn't even realize that aspect of it. Or if you're down below, you're looking up at the queue path for that carousel. So that's really, really cool and well done. So
Yeah, definitely. It's very well done. And then we was talking about this little food court area, wasn't we?
sorry, you can.
Yeah. Over
I
here.
love the building. It's excellent shape, and yeah, it fits perfectly just opposite this roller coaster's chain lift.
Yep, for sure. And I like how she created, the kind of seating area in there, and you put the little light on the table. I think that works really well.
Yeah.
And so if we put some like wooden style ceiling pieces down for kind of the flooring.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's one thing real quick before Jasmine moves on to the next thing she did. One thing I did too, because I didn't do a ton this week, I just kind of did some little things. I put this pathing right here, not this pathing, this kind of fairy tale fencing, because I thought that wooden theme kind of went along with what we were doing, and so I kind of carried that throughout a lot of the area, because we needed something there, and I just hate the curbs in this game. I just think they're so ugly. So, I mean, it's like, why could they not give us different options for curbs, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's what I did, and so Jasmine did some other work too, so she's going to talk through what else she did.
Yeah, so I honestly did not think that I was going to be doing a whole bunch on this park, but everything that you two have done has just been so well done that it kind of inspired me to do something really cool. So if you're kind of walking to the other side of that blue coaster that Michael built, there's a new addition. There's a little bridge that's crossing over this little stream, and this I don't know, I hope that this is a good job. This might be my second or third bridge that I've ever made, so
Yeah,
I'm still kind of getting used to making them.
If I'm being honest, it actually, the way you've done the bridge actually makes me want to redo mine.
Oh, really?
Because your bridge is I'm speechless. I ain't even got any words. It's brilliant. And I feel like my bridge needs to be demolished and rebuilt.
Oh, no.
No, your
It's
bridge
not a bad
is good
thing.
too.
It's not a bad thing. It's just inspiring. Like, it's so well done that I feel like mine could be better. So I may redo that next week. We'll see.
Yeah, I had perfect timing with the coaster. But yeah, so
Okay, so I'll go through the bridge, then kind of down this little pathway here, and then I made a coaster. It's called Mountain Climber. I'm still not done with the scenery around the queue, obviously, but I'm pretty proud of this coaster. I think this is my second wooden coaster that I've made, and I was a little nervous since I know you guys are trying to not make anything higher than the tree line. So this was kind of tough trying to make everything covered, but I think I did a pretty good job hiding this coaster from the guests. So you really can't see anything unless you're over here. So.
I was actually going to say, from the mountain climber sign, which is great by the way, I was just looking over towards the coaster, and I was just like looking at the trees and thinking, where is the coaster?
yeah,
It's so well hidden.
for sure. Yeah, she did a really good job with this, and it's funny because it's like, I feel like this is with every coaster I make or every area. When you start making something, sometimes you're kind of like, okay, I have no idea how this is going to end up. Because I know when she first started making it, my thought was, okay, what are you going to do with this, right? But, I mean, she did such a good job with it. And
Definitely,
just having the mountains and the trees. So it fits perfectly in our park.
It does definitely. And as I say, from other areas of the park, you can't even see there's a coaster there.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you can see there's a mountain there with some trees on the top, but you can't see that there's an actual coaster going through there, which is brilliant.
Yeah. So you want to ride the coaster?
Sure. Okay, let me go through.
Here, press circle if you need to twice to get out of this. Yeah.
Okay, going through the station. Okay, one just pulled in. So I'm just gonna pause it for a second. Do you guys care about the stats? You don't really care about the stats, do you?
We can look at the stats.
Yeah, I mean I don't know. What do you think?
There are
about
some
those
good
stats?
stats.
I think the lateral G's are high, and I know the area where it's high, but that's fine.
Yeah.
And so I can talk about afterwards where I think the one area where it was high. But other than that, I think everything's really good. So let's go ahead and ride the coaster.
Okay. Let me. Oh, wrong one. All right. So we're gonna start.
All right, so Corey, what are your thoughts?
I love it. The only thing I would say is, obviously, I think the lateral G probably comes on that first bend, on that first corner at the first drop.
Yeah,
I
right
think
here.
all it needs is a little bit of smoothing out. But apart from that, the layout is brilliant, and I love the way it just sort of disappears into the forest.
Yeah, for sure. So I
It
think
just sort of hugs the terrain.
I think the reason why this is higher right here is because it is a pre-made piece, and because it came down this big drop, and then quickly it goes into this
Yeah.
turn that's not banked too much, and so that's what causes laterals to be higher. But I mean, it still looks like a blast to go on. I would love to go on this coaster. It kind of reminds me
Yeah,
a little bit
definitely.
of. I've never been on this one, but this is kind of what I envision the Beast being like at Kings Island. That kind of just goes through the forest.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so
Well,
Jasmine, how did you decide to come up with this layout and design? Because obviously you didn't have the trees around there when you first kind of built
Yeah.
it. So how did you decide to build it this way?
Well, I mostly was just trying to confine it to this one area. I didn't want to take up a whole lot of. I guess it does look like it's a lot of space though. But I just knew I wanted that for the first hill to obviously be the tall mountain. But and then I did look at some real life wooden coasters, and a lot of them have like those little like tunnels that they go through.
Right.
I thought I could implement that a little bit. So, but yeah, I mean that was basically it. But hopefully, I mean maybe you guys can build some things in between the coaster. There's a little bit of space I think over there, kind of near the stream, but
Oh yeah, we got a good amount of space over here to work with.
yeah.
And the part that I'm looking at, Corey, is the kind of untouched space there in the back of the park. So
oh yeah, behind
Isn't
the
it-
coaster, and
yeah, isn't it amazing when you zoom out to look at like how much of this park we've actually covered up, and so much of it is trees, but it still looks amazing.
yeah, no, it's true. I think we've actually covered. I'd say about 75%, maybe more.
Yeah, for sure.
But we've still got a lot to put in here. So
Yeah. So, is there anything else you worked on, Jasmine, this week, or anything else you wanted to show?
No, I think that's it.
All right. So, one thing I did is if you go down to where the bridge is at, I mean, I haven't really done much with this yet. There's a pathway that I put, Corey, and Jasmine had this idea too of kind of doing it through the trees. So I just put this pathway through the forest, and it will connect to the other side where kind of near where your River Rapids ride is. Obviously
Oh, I see. Yeah.
yeah, and so it'd be kind of like cool where the guests can kind of like walk through the forest.
Yeah, no, I've just walked, like, I've just gone through there myself, and I was going to say that it gives me a sort of Alton Towers vibe
Oh, that's cool.
because that's exactly what's at Alton Towers. Is you've got this massive long path that goes all through the forest,
Oh, okay.
and you can hear the roller coaster in the background, like on the other side of the trees, and it's quite good. And I like that. It's good, and obviously that brings us around to this big open space where I'm sure we'll have another area.
Yeah, that's really cool. And then I just worked on a couple of little things too. So I need to theme this a little more, but if you go back to where the coaster's at, on the back end of the coaster, I guess maybe the end of the park, I put in one of those, I think it's called the Forge. And I colored it the same color as the coaster. And so I'm going to do a little bit of theming around, obviously the entrance and stuff like that. But it kind of stays right around tree height. Because I felt like we needed another flat ride over here,
Yeah.
Let's see. And then the other thing I started working on was finishing up the entrance. And I'm not completely done with it, but if you go to the main entrance, I just kind of basically copied the entrance building. And I still might shift the buildings around a little bit, but like I said, I'm not completely done. But what I wanted to do was kind of change up the coloring in terms of like which parts were colored what and so forth, so it's got a little bit of distinction. And so I just felt like kind of having a larger entrance to the park.
Yeah, definitely.
So what do
It
you
looks
think, Corey?
nice. I like it. No, I like it a lot. It looks really good, and I like the way you've got this sort of. I assume this is going to be like a backstage area to the right hand side of it.
Yeah, that'd be like an little employee area or something. I haven't fully thought out the reason why I honestly put that there. That's actually not tarmac. That's actually pieces of pavement, and it's because the flooring pieces here kind of went over it a little bit. So I was like, oh well, I'll just try to do it with that.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, but then one thing I have started doing as well, like Corey, if you go over to where you made your rapids ride. And if
Yeah.
you click on that big clump of trees back there, if you click on it, you'll see how I put together 621 objects, right?
Yeah.
And so what I'm starting to do is I'm starting to lump objects together that I know that I can save as a group, so that because we're at 67% right now, so that when we get to the end, we can save 4,000 objects along with 4 to 5 rides and get an extra 20 to 25 to 30% in the park. And so just kind of doing that, because it's easier if you lump everything in a group to then replace it, right?
Right.
So
No, that's a good idea. It's a very good idea.
it's really cool though with what Jasmine did, because if you're sitting at the front of the park, you can't see the mountain in the background at all, right? And then if you kind of enter through the front and you see the bridge, you still can't see anything. And then you get over the bridge, and so it's like, I mean, the whole time you can't see that there's a massive mountain in the background. And now there, if you're on like the bridge, you can see trees further in the background, but you have no idea what that actually is. And so I think she did a great job of just really blending it into the environment and stuff. And
Yeah.
yeah, and you're right, Corey. I absolutely love like this carousel that she did, because we just had a lot of trees there before, and that looks awesome.
Yeah, it definitely does.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. I like everything. Everything you've done this week is brilliant, Jasmine.
Thank you.
Yeah, it looks great.
Well, I will say when I first started, I was kind of intimidated because I was like, "There's so many trees." Like I didn't want to mess up anything that you guys had done. And then I was like, well, yeah, they put these trees here, but obviously stuff needs to be here. So I just started deleting some trees and creating my own space.
For sure. I still need to complete this transfer track area over here. What I did add on though, because I realized, and Corey, we talked about this, I believe on episode 3, is that I put the transfer track on the wrong side in relation to if I just turned on the walkway, right? Because if you go to the other side over here, the walkway's on the left side. So what I actually did was I kind of self-built my own walkway here using the hazard pieces that are colored the same as the entrance. And I saw Ted in his most recent video, or Coaster Creations, kind of do something a little bit similar, not the exact same thing. But yeah, so I kind of created this custom walkway. So, yeah.
I'm just looking for that now.
Yeah. So it's, I think it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with how that turned out.
A little lost.
Oh, sorry. If you go to the, my bad. If you're looking at the transfer track area with the coaster.
Oh, I've got it. Ignore me.
Yeah, and sorry guys, we because of where our internet's placed in my house, which, as Maddie said, I need to do better. We don't have great internet connection up here in terms of being able to stream with like PS Share, so we're just looking at the park on together, but we're just, obviously our audio's being shared. So, yeah. Was there anything else, Jasmine, that you wanna?
No, I think that's it.
Yeah, so we'd love to hear your feedback, guys. You have anything else, Corey?
What I will say, from my end, from this week, I'm going to try and not do too much, if that makes sense. I'm going to try and work on one thing, whether it's a ride or shops or scenery. I'm going to try and work on one thing and try and slow it down a bit. Because, as we can see, we're on episode, 6 or 5? And we've almost filled the park. So I'm just going to try and slow it down a bit and just concentrate on one thing. But that's all I've got to say, really. And also, obviously, Jasmine, you've done excellent this week. And thank you so much for getting involved and helping us out with this park.
Thank you so much for inviting me.
Absolutely. Hey, as Corey said, it's not Michael games, it's Michael and Jasmine games. So we're a team. We're a husband and wife duo. So we're always a team. Now, we really appreciate all the support that you guys constantly show and love the feedback and any comments y'all have or recommendations. And Corey, I can't wait to see what you get done with next week.
I have no idea what I'm going to do yet.
Hey, it's all good. Most of us don't until we start playing around with it, right? So
that's it.
Yeah, but it's truly looking like a forest.
Yeah. So,
good call with the name. So, all right, well, that'll do it for, I believe... Gosh, is this episode 5? Now I can't even remember. Is it episode 5 or 6? I think it's episode 5. We'll say that right now. And if it's actually episode 6, that's my fault. But episode 5 of Avery Forest. Thank you, Corey.
Thanks, everyone.
All right, thank you, Jasmine. And as always, we appreciate it. Make sure and hit the like button, hit that subscribe button. If y'all haven't checked out Corey's channel, it's Webb Gaming. The link is below. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day.